Over the past year, I've thought about Nora's many exceptional qualities: curiosity, patience, humility, humor, kindness, dedication, thoughtfulness, and wondered, how can we clone her? Nora thinks about the quiet and uninspired students as much as she thinks about the boisterous and high-achieving students. Her mentor teacher recounted a time when Nora requested for a student to sit in a chair and not leave until he completed nearly a term's worth of makeup work so that he could be able to pass 8th grade English. That's huge for an 8th grader to do. All of this patience, humility, and hard work while Nora was battling a nagging and persistent bout of mono all semester. While lesser teachers may have gone easy on themselves, Nora fought all year to deliver for her students, her mentor, her colleagues, and herself. Congratulations on an eventful and victorious year. And next is Chelsea Larson. I was also fortunate enough to be Chelsea's field instructor for the second part of the semester, while her own field instructor had a baby, so I stepped in. So over the last year, I have loved how complex, unique, and rare a teacher in person Chelsea is. And the best part is that Chelsea is generous in her journey, inviting her students to travel inward into self-discovery. Chelsea grappled with many questions over the year, from why won't high schoolers just put their cell phones away, to how do students find meaning in their intersectional identities and positionalities. These questions were springboards for her students to become better people, questions that the best teachers ask. When I think of Chelsea's year with us, I think of someone with resiliency and professionalism. Her students were greeted each day with a positive and personalized class, with a teacher who took into account with what baggage they may have entered the building. Chelsea held her line, but with a soft touch. She is the kind of teacher in person we all would look forward to seeing during the day because of her easy laugh and engaging material. I am sad that we will not have Chelsea after today, but I know your future colleagues and students have a lot to look forward to. We will truly miss you. Congratulations.
Brandon came to the Brandeis education program immediately after finishing up his undergraduate degree here at Brandeis in mathematics, and through his work tutoring others, realized he wanted to enter the world of education. He brings his deep understanding of math and his love for the subject into the high school classroom. He approaches the subject as a mathematician and works with the students to help them understand why the math works. Brandon understands the importance of not just teaching computational shortcuts, but rather working towards developing deeper understandings of these concepts amongst his students. He also understands how to step back, look at the content, and create broad yet meaningful essential questions and enduring understandings. Brandon had a successful year student teaching AP Calculus at Cambridge Range Latin High School and has a bright future in store for him as he starts his teaching career this fall at Marblehead High School.
And I know Evan's here. Evan was in the first class that is part of the undergraduate secondary education that I taught. So Evan and I go back a ways, and he is a really thoughtful, intelligent, spirited person who cares a tremendous amount. He could have gone for history or for chemistry in terms of what he was going to teach, but he has chosen to go for chemistry. And One of the things I would say about Evan is that I went to his research project, and he was talking about the importance of do-nows and how to get students to all do the do-nows, and to do it not in 7 minutes, but to do it in 4 minutes. And he figured out how to do this, by the way, with a timer, gradually getting them to do this. But one of the things I love about Evan is he said when he thinks about a do-now, which is the beginning activity, he wanted them not only to do it, but to do it now. And that's one of the ways in which Evan thinks about things. He thinks, oh yeah, let's figure this out, what the pieces are here. Evan is incredibly thoughtful, always thinking, always examining, and I think much more centered, which is not surprising, much more centered in terms of being able to hear, to think, to acknowledge what's going on, which is all part of teaching. Evan, I should mention, is also a crossword person who creates crosswords and has had one of his one or two? Two crosswords, almost 3 in the New York Times. Yeah.
And last, but certainly not least, we have Daniel Shen. So again, I also stand here representing Rebecca, his pedagogy of science instructor, and also Phyllis, Daniel's field instructor. So according to Rebecca, she stated that Daniel is an incredibly thoughtful and reflective teacher and student. He truly understands the importance of building relationships with students and his peers. According to Phyllis, Daniel cares about each and every student as an individual. He consistently works diligently to bring out the best in all. His focus has been on each student being successful, regardless of their learning differences. And he gears his teaching, his questions, his comments to that end. He has devoted significant time online to research and find just the right video to show his class for a variety of topics. And this is also Phyllis still talking. Every time I visited his class, I learned something I did not know. I, as his teacher research instructor, also learned something new each time I had the pleasure of seeing Daniel present his research. Not only is he a skilled presenter, and skilled at selecting just the right video to relate information, but he is also a strong quantitative researcher, which was very helpful to me because I'm a qualitative researcher. And when I had several students inquire, like, when are we gonna learn about how to do quantitative data analysis? Daniel was one of the people I thought of. I reached out to him without hesitation. Yes, of course. And we as a class were also able to learn from Daniel. Many wonderful questions were asked of him, and he did an excellent job presenting and answering our questions. But while I have great respect for Daniel as a brilliant scholar and a passionate teacher, what I will remember most about him is his smile, his kindness, his thoughtfulness. He was always so considerate and generous with his time. And he also affirmed me as a teacher, often complimenting my hairstyles, which I really appreciated, complimenting me, saying thank you when I sent out emails to remind him of upcoming assignments. So thank you so much for doing that, Daniel. And the last thing I'll say about Daniel is he's just a wonderful human being. I'm sure that the other students in the MAT program, like just being in your presence is such a pleasure. Like you help to lift moods, I feel like. And I know that any student or educator or researcher that you'll encounter and work with in the future, they will be super fortunate and privileged to have you as either their teacher or their colleague. So congratulations.
Thank you to all of our presenters and our students. Before we close, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you what's coming next, which is food. There's a reception that's going to be held in the room across from where you saw the research presentations.
There's also, the dessert is in the research presentation room.
And there's also dessert in the research presentation rooms. What are we doing?
I would like to take this moment to thank Danielle for her leadership.
I'd like to ask the class of 2019 to rise. And look at all those people out there. I mentioned that these folks have to do like more than 100 pages of documentation for their license, and it all comes down to this little checkbox at the end of a form that says, ready to teach, not ready to teach. Well, MATs, I now pronounce you all ready to teach. Thank you to, in fact, we have Eileen Cal, who has done so much for these students. Not just all the food that you see, she actually has shepherded them through the job process, met with everyone who wanted to on their resumes. She's been there for all of us, and none of us would be here without the support of Manuel Tuan. Who has done all of the behind-the-scenes paperwork and organizing so that this event can happen. MITs and faculty, I invite you to stay for photos, family, loved ones. I invite you to enjoy the food that is in the reception area just for yourself.